Today we're doing a Jack Daniels and Coke skirt steak. For this marinade, we've got some minced garlic, horseradish, brown sugar, we got some soy sauce, lemon juice, salt and pepper, Worcestershire, Coke, and of course old number 7 Jack Daniels. So what I've got here is a Ziploc bag, and you could put this in a bowl if you're worried about getting it mixed up real well. It's just one less thing I have to wash if I don't put it in a bowl. So we put in the soy sauce. There's our garlic, lemon juice, horseradish. Okay. Now, this happens to be a ginormous Coke. You only need about 12 ounces. I don't know. I haven't seen one this big. 16. So I'm going to leave about 4 ounces in the bottom. Okay. And then what we got here is old number 7. And we want about a half a cup. So I'm going to measure this out. Okay, 4 ounces of Jack Daniels. Let me get that in here. Alright, there's our brown sugar and our salt and pepper. Now, what I'm going to do is just seal this guy up and shake it up a bit to get all this mixed in. Mix it around. Actually, it's not that challenging, it looks like. Pretty easy. But let me shake it up and we'll be right back. Alright, as usual, I forgot something. We have the good old, however you say that, Worcestershire sauce. Okay? So what we want here are a couple tablespoons. So there's one, and there's 2. Okay? Now let me just zip this up for a minute, and we'll get to this skirt steak. Okay, I've got a skirt steak here. Looks like it weighs 1.37. Alright. So I could dry it off, or I could trim it up, but actually I'm going to let it go just the way it is. We're going to grill it a little bit later. I don't think there's too much fat on it. If you don't want this fat, then you can trim it off. But what I'm going to do is just put this skirt steak down in this marinade. Zip it up again. Just going to make sure the marinade gets all over it real well. And then I'm going to slide this in the refrigerator. Now, I don't recommend you let this marinate overnight because of the liquor. Too much liquor on meat, in my experience, I don't know how to describe it. It can sort of cook it, for lack of better words. I'm sure that's not a technical cooking word. But, because of the high alcohol content, I definitely wouldn't leave it overnight, not like if you're doing something like a beer brine or what have you. But what's good for this, just 2 to 4 hours in the fridge. So, about every hour, hour and a half, I'll turn this over to make sure everything's getting nice and marinated. It's been 3 hours. Like I said, you want to marinate this guy 2 to 4 hours. Okay, just going to get him out here. And that marinade smells good. But you can discard the marinade. Now, you could hit this up with a little salt and pepper if you wanted, right before you put it on. I'm going to use this Stubbs steak spice. I really like this one for things like flank steak, skirt steak. The ingredients on this guy: sea salt, black pepper, garlic, spices, onion, ancho, chili, sugar, natural smoke flavor. So again, if you don't have this or you don't want to go get it, you don't have to, right? Just use a little kosher salt and pepper or whatever your favorite steak rub is. Okay, I'm just going to put a little on both sides. And I've got this Gourmet Guru Grill heated up to about 575 degrees. We're going to get this guy on the grill. I'm going to start it with the fat side down. We want to sear this guy hot and quick. Otherwise, you'll overcook this skirt steak and it'll get too done. It's been about 3 minutes per side. We're going to get this guy off of here. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Now, if you look at this skirt steak, you can see that the grain is running this way, and you always want to cut against the grain. So I don't want to cut these extremely long pieces. What I'm going to do is cut this guy in half. Okay. And then what we're going to do is cut across this grain. I would tell you it's kind of right in between the two, medium and medium rare. And I bet you if we cook down here where the steak isn't as thin, it's going to be more medium. So let's just take a look real quick so everybody can make their own judgments. So you can see here, it's you know, not nearly as medium, whatever you want to call that, medium rare. You can see this very end piece; it's almost cooked all the way. I would tell you this: it's extremely juicy. But now what we want to do, right, is we want to give this a taste, because, you know, it really doesn't matter what it looks like or how juicy it is unless it tastes good. So let's give it a try. So you get some sweetness from the Coke. And I gotta tell you, it's just got a very nice, well-rounded flavor. The Jack Daniels in it is not strong. You know, if you were 18 like me or 19 and you were sneaking Jack Daniels when you weren't supposed to be, pretty dang strong. But there's no strong flavor at all here. Just a very well balanced. For those of you that think the only way to cook a steak is just some salt and pepper, nothing else, hey, I have a great respect for that. But the marinade on this is not overwhelming at all. Very mild. And there's just a bunch of subtle flavors going there. That brown sugar, you know, I'm sure that contributed a little bit to the sweetness. But if you're worried about having a sweet steak, don't worry about that at all. It is definitely not, you know, overly sweet. I tell you, I really like this recipe. It's the first time we tried it. So anyway, I hope you hit that little armadillo pepper icon up in the corner and subscribe if you're not already. And if you've got any questions or comments about the recipe, leave them below.